It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl, the first of 2 semifinal games as we head toward the middle school championship. Let's meet today's teams. First from Greenbelt Middle School, would you say hello to Chidima and Buisi Alalavu, Rashawn Williams, and Ryan Mbuadu Indi. And now from Samuel Ogle, would you welcome please Brandon Velasquez, Ezian Taylor, and Bradley Lineski. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the question. The easier questions are on the left, worth 5 and 10 points. Tougher ones, worth 15, 20, ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds, we will have the first of the 2 semifinalists that will be vying for this year's middle school championship. Let's go over and make sure everything's working properly. Let's go to the red team. And Rashawn, would you try your buzzer? It looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, to Chidima, and to Ryan. And Ezian, would you try yours as well? Thank you. Also looks like it's in good working order. Good luck to you, Bradley, and to Brandon. And as I was saying before we came on air, congratulations. We started with 16 middle schools. We're down to the final 4. So you are the best of the best. And may the better team win. Good luck, teams. G before S. We go alphabetically. Rashawn, let's start it.
Let's get physical for 15 points.
Let's get physical for 15 to start our game. Teams, a mercury manometer, like an aneroid barometer, is an instrument designed to measure changes in this. Greenbelt.
Pressure.
Pressure, yes. An aneroid barometer, air pressure. A manometer, blood pressure. Red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, if you have problems with your temporomandibular bone, is it because you're wriggling your ears too much, you're cracking your knuckles too much, or you're chewing gum too much? Samuel Ogle. Yes, sir.
Chewing gum.
Chewing gum, absolutely right. The temporomandibular bone is right here. So if you're always chewing the gum, you can damage the jaw. You can also get kind of a muscular face if you do it too much. Go green.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, when he was sitting among the officials of the Catholic Church, he, referring to the earth, said to these doubting people, and yes, it does move. He was excommunicated for that. Who was he? Samuel Ogle. Yes, sir.
Copernicus.
Not Copernicus. Good try. Greenbelt, who said to these Catholic clerics, and yes, the earth moves.
Galileo.
Galileo, yes, indeed, because people thought the earth was the center of the universe. He said, no, it's the sun, the solar system. The earth moves around it. Good comeback. 80-65, go red.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points, teams. A book, a children's book called Is a Camel a Mammal? Says that mammals have fur and they have a backbone, but the book never mentions lactation. Samuel Ogle.
never mentioned milk or mammary glands.
Absolutely right. Does not mention anything about the production of milk, which is characteristic of mammals. Yes, indeed, gentlemen. Go.
Green things. Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams. Upton Sinclair's classic American book about the meatpacking industry had a one-word title that is a synonym for a tropical forest. What's the title of that book? A synonym for tropical forest. Greenbelt.
Jungle?
The Jungle is the name of the book. You got that right. Thank you, Ryan, for your assist. Go. Greenbelt.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams. Back in 1952, a killer smog descended on London, killing hundreds of people. It was a killer smog because it contained H2SO4, which is what kind of corrosive chemical? H2SO4 is what kind of corrosive chemical? Greenbelt.
Carbon monoxide. No, because it said hydrogen. So,
What do you think?
hydrogen sulfate?
Not hydrogen sulfate, no. H2SO4 is what kind of corrosive chemical that can kill if breathed in?
Cyanide.
What do you think?
Sulfur.
Cyanide.
Good try. Sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid was the right answer. Go red. 15-point lead.
Zuprate for 20.
Zuprate for 20 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio if you would, please. This is a honey badger that is coming up for you to look at. A honey badger, of course, likes honey. And it finds the honeycombs because there's a bird called the honey guide that leads him there. And then he shares the booty. What kind of perfect relationship is that? Greenbelt.
A symbiotic?
It certainly is a symbiotic relationship indeed. Go, red.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Team. Sickle cell anemia normally is not curable, but some people have been cured by getting a transplant of this spongy material found inside bones. Samuel Ogle.
Marrow.
Marrow. A marrow transplant can sometimes do it. Yes, indeed. Go green.
I think we should do let's get physical for 20. Yeah. Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. If you really want to melt ice in the winter, get rock salt that has been treated with MgCl2, which can lower the freezing point to below 0. MgCl2 is a compound that contains what two chemicals?
Magnesium.
What two chemicals, Greenbelt?
Magnesium and chlorine.
Magnesium and chlorine. It is magnesium chloride, which itself is a kind of salt. Absolutely right. Boy, that was a quick first round. We come to the end of that first round. Our score at this point, Greenbelt 135, Samuel Ogle 100. Great game. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment.
Simple moments are what make every day count.
Let's be real. There are days when every mom wants to tell her kids to take a hike. That's actually a pretty good idea. Because when you take us hiking, or let us run outside, acting silly, getting dirty, and helping in the garden, you're not only making your day better, you're making our lives healthier and happier. Playing outside is not only fun, it helps us feel our best inside and out. So next time when Mom wants you to take a hike, tell her to go to beoutthere.org to find fun ideas for helping kids enjoy the great outdoors. Let's be honest, it's not bad for the parents either. They're so cute at this age. Be out there!
Did you know 80% of the world's fur comes from fur farms in China? On these farms, animals live their entire lives in small wired cages. They are exposed to harsh weather extremes. Many animals go insane from confinement. Others suffer and die because of untreated wounds and disease. The unlucky few who survive are bludgeoned to death, have their skulls bashed in, and their skin removed, many while still conscious. There are no laws to protect them, but you can help. Sometimes it's what you don't do that helps the most. Please don't buy fur or fur trim. Contact In Defense of Animals for more information. Thank you.
Welcome back to Science Bowl. So good to have you here today. Coming to the end of our 28th season, and we're down to the final 4 middle schools, 2 of whom are here today, and it is neck and neck just as we expected. A lot of talent on these teams. You know, after today's games, we are going to be moving on to the second semifinal, but all of our contestants will be taking home tributes to their scholarship in the form of Audubon field guides. We have them in a lot of different subjects: mammals, birds, fish, night sky, whatever is the fancy of our players is our way of thanking them and rewarding them for being such outstanding students. Let's now talk to our players. If you've not had the pleasure of meeting them earlier, let's go over to Greenbelt. And Rashawn, tell us about Greenbelt Middle School, practically a brand new school.
I think the school is about maybe 2 years old, or this is its second year.
Yeah.
It replaced the old Greenbelt building, so it's a really new and actually a quite big school. Yeah. It's kind of confusing when you're new, but now that you know, now you've been there pretty much a year, or pretty much 2 years now, it's pretty easy to move around.
Yeah. And you know, psychologically, there's something about being in a new place, and I'm sure everybody felt that way when they came in. Who's your principal over there?
His name is Mr. Warren Tweedy.
Mr. Warren Tweedy. I know him well. He was one of my students a long time ago. And tell me who the sponsor of your team is.
It's Dr. Gupta.
Dr. Gupta. And what a wonderful sponsor he has been. I know he's worked long and hard with you. And, you know, Greenbelt has rarely been at this point in our competition, and that's a tribute to you and to him. You had an alternate on your team. Who's that?
I think
Ilham Kabir.
Ilham Kabir. Can I pass it to Chidima?
Sure.
Ilham Kabir.
Wonderful. So we'll bring the alternate out with Dr. Gupta in just a few moments. Before I leave you, Rashawn, tell me about your future plans. I know you're undecided, but are you leaning in any direction? What subjects are your favorite, other than science?
I'm not actually entirely sure what I want to do when I grow up. So, like, in an effort to find it, I've actually been volunteering at NASA. Lately, the Goddard Visitor Center. I was actually there helping them run their Sunday experiment this past Sunday. So I just hope that I'll find one of their topics really, really interesting, and I'll be like, that's what I want to do when I
think that's a great, get lots of different experiences. You'll find an epiphany along the way, something that gets your fancy, or you'll find a mentor that really takes a great interest in you and can kind of point you in the right direction. You're doing it all right. Ryan, good to have you with us today. First time ever. Why'd you want to be on the Science Bowl?
Well, in 5th grade last year, it was extracurricular activity. It was like enrichment.
Yes.
We did every Friday, and so it was one. So I was like, why not? And we actually didn't get to go to the competition last year, so it made me want to do it even more in middle school.
Wow, so I like your tenacity. You stuck with it, and you know, it's a leap of faith to join something. You hope it's going to work out for you, and here you are in the semifinals. Nice to have you with us. And I know you liked computer games, and you're looking to work for Google someday. Is that right?
Yes.
Absolutely. We wish you luck. And Chidima, nice to have you here. You're a great player, a super competitor, the oldest of 4 children. Yes? And I know they're all looking up to you. And you do have some ideas about what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, I want to do something that works with like small children or babies, or something that goes into the forensic field.
Wonderful. And I know you aspire to go to Harvard.
Yeah.
All right. Go aim for the top and Something tells me you're going to get there. You're going to get there. Good to have you back. Samuel Ogle, our white-shirted gentleman over there, looking sharp as always. Easy, and tell us about Samuel Ogle. Was over there in Bowie. It was the county champ when you were in elementary school, way, way back, long before you guys were born. Never a middle school championship, so I know you'd like to add that to your list of triumphs over there. Who's your principal?
Our principal is Mr. Covington.
Mr. Covington. I know he's behind you 100%, and you've got a great sponsor. Miss Maxwell, she has been coming here for years and years, always sends us a terrific team, and also puts in an awful lot of work to get you guys ready. Easy, and were there any alternates on your team?
We have Samantha Smith.
Wonderful. We can bring her out in a few moments with Miss Maxwell. What do you like about Samuel Ogle? What's one of the best things there?
Samuel has like a lot of clubs, and the teachers really care about you.
Yeah, boy, if you don't have that, you don't have a school. It's not worth going. If you know someone's on your side, what do you want to do someday?
I really don't know.
All right, this seems to be the captain's predilection here today. But I know you like sports, and you're into computers, and what else do you do?
Well, I usually do like video games, and I read.
That's great. Okay. Bradley, nice to have you with us today. Tell us the Bradley story. What do you do in your spare time?
I like going on YouTube. I also like video games.
Yeah. Why do you like this game? Why did you want to be on the show?
Well, I like science. And everybody in the team's my friend. Everybody in the team is my friend. So.
Yeah, boy, that's great. No matter what your friends are doing, you just want to be with them. So I know they appreciate you, and and mutual admiration going on over there. Brandon, good to have you back with us here. Tell us about what you do in your spare time.
Well, I like to play soccer, and I like to play video games a lot, and see a lot of like science news and stuff.
Yeah, you guys all have similar interests. That's why you're good friends, I imagine, huh? What do you want to do someday?
I want to either be an astrophysicist or a video game developer.
Yeah, great. I can see you being successful at that. All right, let's get back into the game. Tight score, Greenbelt 135, Ogle 100. Lots of points to give away. Start us out, please, Rashawn.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, back in 1974, a doctor who just passed away at age 94 came up with a maneuver for taking a fist and pushing it into someone's diaphragm to dislodge jammed food.
It's called the Heimlich.
Rashawn.
Heimlich?
Yeah, the Heimlich maneuver. Dr. Henry Heimlich discovered that, and that was his signature, his contribution to the world. Red.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, botanists are now teaching plants genetically to concentrate this gas in their leaves so that photosynthetic efficiency increases by 50%. What gas, Samuel Ogle?
Carbon dioxide.
Say it again.
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, yes indeed. Good. Green.
Science hopefully for 20. Yeah. Science hopefully for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, what same word is an arm bone, and if you square it and multiply it by pi, you'll get the circumference of a circle.
Radius.
Samuel Ogle.
Radius.
Radius, that's it. Good. Go.
I think we should go for body systems for 25.
Okay, whichever one.
Body systems for 25.
I'm sorry?
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, if you're allergic to something like peanuts and you eat peanuts, you can go into anaphylactic shock, and you can die if this body part constricts. Samuel Ogle?
Your throat?
Your throat, yes. If your throat constricts and cuts off your air supply, that can be lethal. All right. Tie score by 5 points up. Samuel Ogle, 160, 155. Go Easian.
Zoo parade for 25. Okay. Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, armadillos are strange animals. They can contort their bodies in odd ways, which is why they are grouped into a group of mammals called Xenarthra. Xen means odd, and arthra means this.
Joints.
Samuel Ogle?
Joints.
Joints, yes. Odd joints, as in arthropod. You parsed that very nicely. Go Green.
Let's get physical for 25.
Get physical for 25 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Two parts. This man said, in the year 1456, a comet passed between the Earth and the Sun, and I predict it will come back in 1532. He said it in 1456. This comet is coming back in 1532. Who said it, and how many years elapsed?
Haley's Comet. Who else? How many years lapse?
I think it's 75 years.
75,
yeah.
Haley's Comet and 75 years.
Ooh, 76 years. 76 years. And it was Haley's Comet. Yes. Okay. We cannot give that. We cannot give that because we did want this exact number. Okay. Last correct answer came from the green team. Try again, green.
Science potpourri for 25. Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points, teams. Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps said he got through childhood because the swimming pool offered an area of safety for him because he suffered from ADHD, which is attention deficit what? Greenbelt.
Hyperactive disorder?
Absolutely right. Hyperactivity disorder. Good. Go. Green, red, please.
What? All right. Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, it was back in 1916 that a dermatologist put together a mixture of aluminum chloride because too many people were suffering from hyperhidrosis, and this concoction kept people from doing what? Too much. Samuel Ogle?
Sweating.
Sweating, yeah, that was the first antiperspirant. Go green.
Let's go physical for 10. I think we should lower.
Yeah.
Let's go physical for 10.
Get physical for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. Teams, these two potatoes are running that clock. They are producing enough electricity in what V initial units?
Volts.
Greenbelt?
Volts.
Volts, yes. There's a voltmeter that can register the output. Go red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, the trifula trees in Dr. Seuss's Lorax had seeds that supposedly did not do this for 10 full years. Greenbelt.
Germinate?
Yeah, they didn't germinate for 10 years. Good, go.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, you've heard of nanotechnology. Now they have nanotechnology for old people. They're actually putting one of these kinds of devices in the shoes of Alzheimer's patients because they tend to walk away. What are they putting in the shoes, Samuel Ogle?
Like a GPS tracker.
You got it. They're putting a GPS tracker in there. Yes, sir. Good. Go.
Should we do 25? Green things for 25.
I think.
Yes, sir.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Teams, we humans have just started using the word selfie. But plants have been using it for millions of years, like tobacco plants. They do two things for themselves. What two self things do tobacco plants and a lot of other plants do?
So I think they self-reproduce and they self-produce food. They self-reproduce and they they provide food for themselves.
Not quite. That was an interesting answer. Samuel Ogle. Two selfies that plants do for themselves.
They
They self-pollinate.
They self-pollinate themselves. And they like make
photosynthesis.
They self-pollinate and they make their own food.
Good try. Self-pollinate is correct. Self-fertilize is the other one. Try green.
I think we should go for daylight science for 5.
Yes, for 5.
Daylight science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, servicemen and women around the country are celebrating because a meal ready to eat is coming up with something they've wanted for years and years. By taking out all of the water from the tobacco and the cheese, from the tomatoes and the cheese, they now can get these kinds of pies without ever having to freeze them or refrigerate them.
Chicken pot pies?
Not a chicken pot pie. They're taking out all of the moisture from the tomatoes and the cheese so that these pies are now available without refrigeration. Yep.
Pizza pie?
Pizza, that's it. Good. Green, go. Or red, rather.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, out in California, farmers are using hydrologists, but they're also resorting to dowsing sticks to find this. Greenbelt.
Water?
Water, yes, because of the drought in California. Go red. Yes, sir.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, the Maryland Senate has just decriminalized this hallucinogenic plant that you can buy legally. Samuel Ogle?
Marijuana?
Marijuana, yeah, good, go. Green.
I think we wish I would have Zoo Parade for 10.
For 10?
I don't know.
For 5.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams. Aesop of the fables cast the grasshopper as the lazy insect and this other social insect, Greenbelt,
The ant.
Ant as the model of industry. Yes, red.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, the dull plumage found on male ducks at the end of the breeding season have what same name as the celestial phenomenon where one celestial object blocks the view of another. Greenbelt.
Eclipse.
Eclipse plumage it is, yeah. Red.
Which one?
Yes, sir.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, if a moon near a planet gets too close, it can be crushed by what force? Greenbelt.
Gravity.
Gravity is it, yeah. Red.
Body systems or something. Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, potatoes, needles, and hurricanes all have these sense organs. Samuel Ogle. Eyes, even though they're not functional. Yes, indeed. 2 questions left. Score update, 235 Greenbelt, 220 Ogle. Advantage green.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline for 25. Big one in that category. Teams. While Thomas Edison is credited with discovering the electric light bulb, this other scientist came up with far more practical uses for electricity. In fact, there is an all-electric car now named
Tesla.
Greenbelt.
Tesla.
Nikola Tesla, absolutely right. Last question of the game, science potpourri for 5 points. Some people think that an MP3 is a Star Wars robot, and they also think that one of these bytes, B-Y-T-E, that means 1 billion bytes, is an insect. 1 billion bytes. Give me the right prefix.
Is it a nanobyte?
Greenbelt. Yes, sir.
Gigabyte. Gigabyte?
It is a gigabyte. And with that, we come to the end of the game, and it looks like Greenbelt has done it. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't you go away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emily. I'm super excited to introduce my dad because he's my hero. When I was little, he was doing this really important work, shoving ambulances in Iraq. Now he's home, and he's still a hero because he tells the ambulances where to go when there's an emergency. I'm so proud of him. He's awesome. He's my dad.
If a service-connected disability hinders your civilian career, Volk Rehab offers a variety of services to help prepare you for your next mission.
Hello? Hello? I've been on the street for a while. I saw your poster outside. I don't know what to do.
National Runaway Switchboard, how can I help? Call 1-800-RUNAWAY to make the connection.
Simple moments are what make every day count.
Welcome back. We expected a nail biter, and we got one because these students are as good as they get. We are proud of both of our teams. Let's look at that final tally. It is Samuel Ogle 220, Greenbelt 265. You're heading to the finals. Chidama and Rashawn and Ryan, congratulations. And Ilham, nice to have you here as the alternate. Dr. Gupta, congratulations. Samuel Ogle, you couldn't have played a better game. You were fighting right to the end. Ezian and Bradley and Brandon, you're good friends, and I know this is going to bond you even more. And Samantha, nice to have you with us today. And Miss Maxwell, congratulations again on being such a great sponsor and making it to the semis. We'll see you next time for the second of the semifinals. Don't miss it. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.